Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, senators express disappointment as the House leadership row leads to a possible delay in passing the 2021 national budget. Four allies of Marinduque Representative Lord Allan Velasco lost their post at the lower house as the battle for speakership heats up. And after suspending the House session until November, House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano managed to block any move to change the House leadership. But what happens now on October 14? House Deputy Speaker Dan Fernandez and AAMBIS-OWA Party List Representative Sharon Garin join us live. House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano insists the 2021 national budget passage will not be delayed due to the suspension of the House session until November 16. Meantime, three committee chairpersons and one deputy speaker who are known allies of Marinduque Representative Lord Allan Velasco were booted out of their posts recently as the leadership tussle in the House of Representatives continues. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have AAMBIS-OWA Party List Representative and former House Economic Affairs Committee Chairwoman Sharon Garin. Congresswoman Garin, welcome to the source and thank you for your time.
Good morning, Pinky. Thank you also for having me.
Congresswoman, it was last Monday when the President met with Congressman Lord Allan Velasco. And then the day after, Tuesday, the budget was passed on second reading and the session was suspended until November 16. Did you expect this to happen? And what did this move indicate to you?
I didn't expect it to happen. Actually, many things that have been happening for the past 2 weeks I didn't expect, because I expected the term sharing agreement to be implemented as mentioned by the President on Tuesday meeting in Malacañang. He actually said that, well, why don't we just follow honor the agreement? And then his one condition was, you pass the budget on time. All right, so two things there. And now it seems like there's resistance in honoring the agreement. And now we passed the budget on time we finished the budget deliberations for second reading, but we didn't finish the third reading. So there's kind of like two things that we're not trying to comply with as requested by the executive. So medyo nakakagulat naman yung mga nangyayari ngayon.
Can we be clear on one thing? Ano ho ba talaga yung napag-usapan ni Pangulo at ni Congressman Lord Allan Velasco nung Lunes? What did Congressman Velasco tell you?
On the Monday, the last meeting that they have had, I read in the papers as well as I heard from the stories that he said, it's your time, na Lord. You have every right to pursue the speakership, something like that. Na panahon mo na to. And let's honor the term sharing agreement. Yun yung pagkakaintindi ko. But then it hasn't been followed.
But what I want to find out, if you know, Congresswoman, is sinabi ho ba sa'yo ni Congressman Lord Allan Velasco kung ano ang sinabi sa kanya ng Pangulo nung Monday, nung huling meeting rather?
Yes, ma'am. That's what he said. Na this is your time na. It's their time, and let's honor the term sharing agreement, the 1521. Panahon mo na to, and it's basically like an assurance for him na that 1521 should be implemented, as he already mentioned actually the previous week.
But did the President tell Congressman Lord Allan Velasco that it is your time, but you need the numbers? Meron ho bang ganung qualifier?
No po. He didn't say that last Monday, nor did he say that in the 2 weeks ago, Tuesday in Malacañang. Walang condition pa yung 1521 na yan. Even when they signed the agreement or whatever they talked, how they sealed the deal back then on last year, wala ring condition. There was no condition as to kailangan everyday complete attendance ka sa Congress. Wala rin yun sinabi yung agreement na yun. Nor did the president say that. Nor was there a condition, sige, pwede ka lang pumalit sa akin after 15 months kung may numbers ka. That was not an agreement. If it was just about numbers, then Velasco had more numbers than APC originally. But, it's the agreement was simple. Sige, dalawa kayo para hindi na magulo, sharing na lang kayo kaysa kawawa yung mga congressmen at mag-away-away din, damay lahat-lahat. So, gentleman's agreement. 15 months ka, 21 months ka. That's simple as that. There's no other condition. I don't know where that came from actually.
So if the president said it's your time, sabi po ni Congressman Lord Allan Velasco sa inyo personally that the president told this to him na it's your time na maging speaker, does that mean that inaasahan ng Pangulo sa October 14 maging speaker si Lord Allan Velasco? Kasi Malacañang keeps saying that the statements are no comment tayo dyan. This is according to presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. Out tayo dyan, and it's a purely internal matter. What needs to be clear here is ano ho ba talaga ang posisyon ni Pangulo hinggil dito? And that's important because he was the one that brokered the deal last year.
Correct. Pinky, you have to understand, the president is not doing this as the president. He is trying to resolve a conflict between two friends. And in fact, it also concerns his party, which is PDP. So as the president of the Philippines, he cannot hindi naman pwede mag-meddle yung executive sa ongoings in the House on whatever extent. This is simply an advice that he's been giving. In-advise niya nung una na para hindi kayo magulo nung start 1521 na lang kayo, and they follow, di ba? Suggestion na naman yun. But the president, I don't think I think he's aware na of the limits of his ng constitution and all that. Na hindi naman pwede diktahan ng executive yung legislative. So it's he recommends, he would suggest, which just happens na whenever he suggests something or recommends something, we do follow. Pero they do follow, di ba? Pero as a government official, being the president of the Philippines, it is not within his responsibility.
It's not within his responsibility, but definitely he can wield his influence over this. But let me move on. Anong mangyayari sa October 14? Is there a plan for the allies of Congressman Lord Allan Velasco to reconvene even if session has been suspended? Is this even a possibility?
All right. The prematurely cut kasi yung stopped yung budget deliberations, which in fact was supposed to, we haven't finished Department of Public Works, tourism, health, which is the most important now dahil sa COVID, even DILG, yung mga DOTR, transportation, hindi tapos. All right, so more than the speakership, Pinky, more than the speakership, we have a budget that we have to be very concerned about. We have to have a budget that's responsive to what we need in 2021, in which we have an economic and health crisis caused by the COVID pandemic. Now, ngayon na-cut siya. Hindi na namin pwedeng pag-usapan ng plenary, all 300 of us. Kinlo siya, di ba? For me, we should go back to Congress, sana, tapusin naman natin. Kasi kung konting-konting tao lang, 10 tao lang magdi-discuss ng budget dyan, that's not a transparent or responsive or fair budget. I do hope that the members would call for resumption of the sessions. Di ba? Kasi responsibility namin to, affected. Sana kung away lang namin to, or away lang ni Lord tsaka ni Alan, ni Speaker Alan, then fine. But ngayon, damay kami, di ba? We're being pressured whether we go left or right. And now, worst of that is nadamay yung buong bansa because it's the budget we're talking about. I am hoping that we can all meet and finish the discussions in the budget because the public has to know kung anong mangyayari sa budget, not just a small committee
And
that
how
they
do
have
you intend to do
created.
this? What
I
can
don't,
you guys do about this? If you want to really focus on the budget and look into it and scrutinize it and have deliberations on this, what can you do now until before possibly you go on break on October 16, I believe, or 17?
all right. Now, I'm not trying to plot anything, but I would like to encourage sana all my members to consider naman na responsibility natin dito. Pero what are the options? The speaker can call for a session.
Yes.
Now, you all come back. Speaker has, under the rules, the speaker can call for it. Or number two, the president can call for a special session. Pwede rin siyang magpatawag kasi, this is a measure that needs immediate attention. If we don't pass it on third reading now or soon enough, then madidelay yung printing, madidelay yung Senate. Pag na-delay yung Senate, then, the whole thing, we might have a reenacted budget come next year. That's why I'm appealing to my fellow congressmen na we can do it ourselves. We can fix this. Kung gusto natin na fair, equitable, responsive, and transparent budget, then it is up to the congressmen. Kung gusto nila,
But
and majority of them would like to do
Congresswoman,
so, then they can ask for it.
Doon po sa kampo ni Congressman Lord Allan Velasco, ano ho ang plano niyo para mag-reconvene at pag-usapan ng budget, even if it's just really the budget you are focusing on right now, so it's equitable, transparent, etc. Can you guys do something about this? At ilan ho ba ang supporters ni Congressman Lord Allan Velasco?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, Pinky, it's for me, it's more of a call to fix the budget because this is not just about the camp of Velasco. It is for everyone. In fact, if you've seen the news, many of like the Makabayan Bloc is asking for it. Some people in the minority or in the independent minority or in the opposition are also asking for it. Some members of the majority are also asking for it. So let's unite naman muna. And I mean, whoever sits in a speaker, then let them sit there. Pero let's not drag the whole country. Kaya is a plot being concocted by the Velasco camp because this goes beyond speakership. Diba? Hindi lang to para lang na makaupo si Lord. No, it's not. It's about our budget and our service to the people that we have committed to properly serve. So, for me, that is what we should do. How do we fix this?
Okay.
That's up to us.
Pero kayo ho ba sa kampo ni Congressman Velasco, inaasahan niyo po ba na sa October 14, is there still a possibility that he can be speaker?
There is a possibility that he can be speaker. There's a possibility that he can be speaker October 16 or even tomorrow, or, diba? Pwede yan. Because,
but does the possibility seem real?
As long as you have the numbers, then you can be speaker. And I am quite confident about the numbers of Velasco. But, I don't want to encourage more trouble as long as we finish muna the budget.
But just to continue on that train of thought, ilan ho bang numero ni Congressman Lord Allan Velasco ngayon? Quite frankly.
More than the majority, which can actually decide so many things for the House of Representatives.
You're looking at what, 160 at the least?
All right. So we have 300, let's just say 302, I'm not sure, 304 congressmen. Majority of that would be 50 plus 1, which is 152, more or less, plus, no? So I don't want to go into the numbers because these numbers are actually fluid. It can be a certain number in one day, a certain number in another day, pero I don't want to get many of my colleagues in trouble. Kaya yun lang,
Okay.
majority of them lang.
Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Congresswoman Sharon Garin.
Thank you, Pinky.
And thank you. And when we return, we'll speak to an ally of Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano. Deputy Speaker Dan Fernandez joins us live after the break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, House Deputy Speaker and Laguna 1st District Representative Dan Fernandez. Congressman Fernandez, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Good morning, Pinky, at sa lahat ng mga viewers mo. Magandang umaga sa inyo lahat.
Unahin ko na muna itong question raised or issue raised by Congressman Lord Allan Velasco. He was saying that there's a possibility or not a possibility that yung pag-suspend po nung session and move to November 16, this could be a violation of Section 16, Article 6 of the 1987 Constitution. Basically, what it says is that kailangan daw basically may consent from either house kung meron pong mag-a-adjourn more than 3 days, nor to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting. Are you looking into this?
Yes, actually, Pinky, itong sinasabi ng section, Article 6, at yung pong session cannot be suspended without a prior consent, more than 3 days. But we're talking about the adjournment. And what we did was suspension. And siguro, assuming that what we did was adjournment, meron pa rin, to borrow the line of Congressman Deputy Speaker Neptali Gonzales, when I saw him yesterday doon po sa kanyang interview, it is a mere directory provision, meaning yun po ay isang instruction o direction with no obligatory force, or sabi na it involves no invalidating consequence for its disregard. Kasi meron ng meron ng parang precedent sa Supreme Court na sinasabi sa Supreme Court that lahat ng mga cases that had been submitted for decision within 24 months or 2 years, it must be decided by the Supreme Court. Pero sabi ng Supreme Court, hindi. Ano lang yan? Directory provision. Kumbaga, guide lang po yan. At we invoke that decision of the Supreme Court that these 3 days, more than 3 days of adjournment ay subject to directory provision. Kaya hindi to enforceable, kumbaga. At the same time, hindi kami adjourn. Suspended kami. Remember, Pinky, pag suspended ka, halimbawa, nag-suspend kami nung Wednesday, tapos nag-resume kami ng November 16. That is considered 1 day. Kaya hindi pa rin kami lumalampes na sinasabi na 3 days provision, na more than 3 days kapag nag-adjourn ka.
So you are very confident dito po sa nangyari na suspension until November 16. All right. So
yes. Yes.
If
Pinky, we're not violating any provision of the Constitution, specifically Section 16 of Article 6.
Yeah, because what it says really is this. Let me read this. Neither house during the sessions of Congress shall, without the consent of the other, adjourn. The word was adjourn for more than 3 days, nor to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting. So it's clear to you, Congressman, ang ginawa niyo ay suspend at hindi adjourn.
Yes, we suspended the session. That is very clear. At hindi adjournment. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, even if it was an adjournment, meron naman decision ng Supreme Court about that.
Let me move on to the budget, sir. Ang sinasabi ko kasi, number one, it was railroaded, yung budget. Dahil hindi po nagkaroon ng sapat na oras para sa debates, mga debate, deliberations, and amendments.
What?
Bakit ho kasi
Wait, Pinky,
ipinasa
sandali
on
lang.
second reading?
There was like a calling. Sandali. Okay, Pinky, come again. I did get the question eh. Hello?
Okay. Pag-usapan po natin yung budget. Meron mo kasing maraming
Okay.
concern na tila na railroad yung budget. Bakit? Hindi na deliberate, hindi po na debate, at meron nga dapat amendment sana dito sa budget. Pero ipinasa na ito on second reading, and then pagkatapos ay gumawa nga po ng mga small committee groups hinggil dito. What do you say to this, that the budget is being railroaded?
Well, actually, Pinky, hindi naman to matatawag nating railroaded, ano? Kasi under Section 55 of the rules, this is allowed, ano, to move for the termination of the deliberation ng debate and interpellation. At consistently, yan naman po ay historically and traditionally, ginagawa na po yung motion ni Speaker to create a smaller committees is consistent with what we are doing for so many years, no? I've been in the Congress for 14 and 15 and 16. At alam mo, if you're going to tackle the individual amendments of the 300 congressmen and women in the plenary, which being avoided, no? Kasi nga dahil nga sa 300 congressman lamang, bigyan mo lamang yan ng 100 o ng 1 hour per congressman, eh baka abutin tayo ng almost 6 months or 3 months, no, para ma-discuss to. You have to remember, no, that this is an extraordinary time, no, and this measure, yung General Appropriation Bill, is the highest constitutional measure that being submitted to the House of Representatives every year, and this needs the highest constitutional consideration. And that's the reason why we are trying to create a small committee in order to tackle the different amendments that are being submitted by the different congressmen. At ang katotohanan naman to, hindi to madidelayed ang budget. If ever na madelayed ang budget, probably baka isang araw lamang. But yun na nga po, right now, all the senators are doing their job as well. They're already deliberating the submitted budget. And simultaneously, with the different congressmen, wala naman po kami actually na break eh. We're not going into break. As a matter of fact, we're starting to work in order to create these smaller groups and at the same time to tackle the different individual amendments of the different congressmen. Para po in time ng September 16 na pagbalik po namin, we will be approving the budget for third and final reading.
Okay. We just need to take a very short break, Congressman. We'll be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. We have to say goodbye for now on television, but we will continue our discussion with House Deputy Speaker and Laguna 1st District Representative Dan Fernandez on our Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.